Thursday, June 9th, 2016. I'm your host, Rebecca Paganini.
And I'm Nick Juca. Welcome to the Local Live.
A local resident shares his memory of the greatest.
Business owners, watch out for scammers in town.
The town of Mamaroneck cracks down on rogue parking near Memorial Park.
And Mamaroneck's Crawford brothers win second state title in a row.
The little schoolhouse celebrates its bicentennial.
And James Levinson brings you the local news in this week's In the Media.
A Larchmont chef gives us a taste of her fabulous recipes.
And Pho Patina is in the spotlight.
And keep watching to see some inflatable art with balloon guy Scotty Kazan in our in-studio interview.
Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is the Local Live.
Muhammad Ali once paid a visit to Mamaroneck High School back in 1996. Eli Letterman spoke with Mamaroneck counselor Keith Yeiser, who remembers that special day with the greatest.
It's pretty common in the sports world to hear that an athlete transcended sports, but Muhammad Ali truly did. His tremendous accomplishments in the ring were equaled by his stances and social activism outside of it. He was just as much a cultural hero as he was as an athlete, and his death sent shockwaves through the sports world and beyond. He truly was one of a kind, and there will never be another like him. So what if I told you that the greatest of all time was once at Mamaroneck High School? Keith Yeiser, a youth liaison officer who's been at MHS for 31 years, was there to see it.
Well, it started out with a gentleman named Thomas Hauser. Thomas Hauser was Muhammad Ali's official biographer, and he traveled around with Muhammad Ali, and they were promoting a spirit of healing and tolerance. And Ali at the time was doing lectures throughout, and he wanted to present this to high school students. So Tom figured, he said, well, what's a better place than Mamaroneck? Tom graduated from Mamaroneck High School October 15th, 1996, which is approximately 20 years ago. Ali blessed our high school with his presence.
Keith knew that there was a chance he might get to shake Muhammad Ali's hand or maybe even get in a word with him, but he had no idea that he would be part of a classic Ali moment.
Well, he's one of the greatest men that ever walked the earth, and for him to be at Mamaroneck High School, and I know that a lot of people really wanted to get next to or get close to him. I was fortunate enough that when he walked by me, in typical Ali, here's a guy, I'm 6'4", and he's like 6'4", and he looked at me and he said in a very soft word, he says, son, I don't know, if we squared off, I'd give you maybe 1 or 2 rounds, but then after that, it'd be all me. And a good friend of mine, George Reed, who was there, and he wasn't no official photographer, but he caught this snapshot of Muhammad Ali saying that to me, and it just put the biggest grin on my face. This is the book that everybody received that day.
I saw that note in there. Did he write that in, or was that you?
Oh, that was all me. You know, it describes, this book belongs to Brother Keith Yeiser. This is my nickname, Brother Yeiser, who had the honor and pleasure to be in the presence of one of the greatest individuals who ever walked this earth, a day I'll cherish forever, October 15th, 1996. This was the picture. And I met Ali on 2 occasions, and each time it was just one of those occasions that you felt that you were in the presence of greatness.
And so goes the largely forgotten story of the day that Muhammad Ali came to Mamaroneck High School.
Local business owners, be on the lookout. There's a scammer in town trying to take your hard-earned money. Numerous stores in Larchmont and Mamaroneck have accepted fake $100 bills from at least one woman. One of the scammers, who goes by the name of Sandra Gomez, told store owners she recently moved into the community. She has long dark hair and wears sunglasses, even indoors.
A victim of the ploy said that the bills are good quality fakes, but possess a strong odor. Some local businesses have responded to the bout of counterfeiting by no longer accepting large bills or by using counterfeit detector pens. We talked with owner Teresa Xiao, owner of the apiary in Larchmont, about this issue.
A person has been going around Larchmont with fake $100 bills. And that's when I became aware that this is something that's going on in the neighborhood.
The town of Mamaroneck will be adopting stricter parking laws for areas surrounding Memorial Park, more specifically Baldwin Avenue, in response to commuters parking all day in spots meant for temporary users of the field. The council approved a resolution to make 8 spots metered and employ a 3-hour time limit on the rest.
After town permits are approved by the New York State Legislature, which could take over a year, new signage and meters will be put in, and new parking enforcement officers will be hired to make sure people are parking where they should. Some residents of Baldwin Avenue were concerned that homeowners, especially those who do not have driveways, may be hurt by these new restrictions.
I'm one that doesn't have a driveway, so, but I think it's fair for anybody. I'm not just saying me. In the meantime, if we're there a little later, will the police just start ticketing everybody? Is that
Yes,
what's going to happen?
that's a possibility, yes.
Okay.
A few residents proposed that the council focus on reducing use of Memorial Park, citing programs at the park as a source of parking traffic, but the council decided against addressing that concern. We will keep you updated when the state makes their decision on the matter.
Mamaroneck brothers Hope and Courage Crawford won Section 1 New York Public High School Athletic Association's tennis doubles for the second consecutive time, a feat that has not been accomplished for almost 30 years. The brothers bested Horace Greenlee's James Way and Spencer Lowitz with a score of 7-5 and 6-2. Hope said, quote, "It was an honor to represent Mamaroneck, and it was an experience I will remember for the rest of my life." Hope will be going to Europe next year to play professional tennis and take his game to the next level.
The Mamaroneck Historical Society will be celebrating the 200th anniversary of the 1816 Schoolhouse on Boston Post Road this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
The Schoolhouse was the third founded in Mamaroneck and is the only one of the 3 that has endured the test of time. Many families have fought to preserve the structure from demolition.
The celebration will include tours of the building, a large display of many historical pictures and maps and documents of old Mamaroneck.
Here's James Levinson with what's trending in the media.
Once again, Mamaroneck and Rhinebeck rank as the top school districts in New York State. According to new rankings on niche.com, Rhinebeck and Mamaroneck rank as the 19th and 22nd top school districts, respectively. You can find more info about the rankings on the patch. Attention Mamaroneck boaters! The Mamaroneck Police Department is set to crack down on boating under the influence this summer. Starting June 24th, there will be a zero-tolerance policy for boating under the influence, with a significant increase of officers on the waters. You can find out more about this policy by going to the Loop. And in varsity sports news, for the second consecutive year, Mamaroneck's boys lacrosse has an All-American. Eric Greenberg was one of 2 Southern Westchester players named to the All-American team and will be attending Lehigh next fall to play Division I lacrosse. More info can be found on the Daily Voice. A weather storm advisory has been issued across the East Coast, including the tri-state area after the formation of Tropical Storm Colin over this weekend. The storm is early in its projections, but the size and path have made Colin the 3rd earliest named storm in the tropical storm history. You can get more updates as the storm unfolds on the Daily Voice. Sonia Nunez, the principal of New Rochelle Elementary School since 2012, resigned last Friday amidst allegations that she allegedly misused school funds for herself. You can read the complete story on News 12. And a motorist escaped possible death early Monday morning after her car plunged into the Sawmill River. Police say the unidentified woman's car somehow ended up in the river while the car was traveling southbound on the Sawmill River Parkway. You can find additional updates on this story on the Daily Voice. From the internet to you, I'm James Levinson with In the Media.
Now it's trivia time. Let's see if you can try and take a guess. And keep watching because our interview with balloon artist Scotty Kazan will be coming up.
Welcome back to The Local Live. Tonight, I'm here with professional balloon artist Scotty Kazan. He's the owner and operator of My Balloon Guy, and he's now been twisting professionally for over 9 years. He also grew up in Larchmont and graduated from Mamaroneck High School. Now, I can assure you guys at home, Scotty is not just your traditional balloon animal artist who exclusively performs at kids' parties. I mean, Scotty, between looking at the stuff on your website and the stuff you've done here on the table, you really do it all. Can you tell me a bit about your business and what you do?
Definitely. Well, first, thank you so much for having me here. Yeah, I'm a professional balloon artist. That means I can provide birthday parties, events, mitzvahs, as well as deliveries, balloonograms, pretty much whatever people need, decorations. I even do shows. You know, anything that has to do with balloons and entertainment, that's what I go for. That's what I try to market for.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, tell me about your journey. How did you become the balloon guy?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it coming. I definitely wasn't my original plan in life, but it's kind of weird. I was never artistic. I was never really a good with a pencil or a paintbrush or pretty much anything with art. But my dad is a chef and a florist, and then eventually when I got into balloons, all of a sudden I realized, you know what, that I'm actually pretty good at this. It kind of just, happened. I never really saw it coming. Long story short, I met a magician who got me into it at a restaurant, and then when he got me into it, I got away from it, but when I got back into it, I started learning on the internet. Of course, the internet,
Right.
What can't you learn now on the internet? But then what really got me to my level of talent is the balloon conventions, the conferences, because anyone can learn balloons, but it's all confidence. That's really the secret to life. I used to be scared to make a motorcycle, scared to make a dress, and then now I have the confidence to go for it. And then once I made it, I was like, wait, that wasn't so bad. It's all in my head. So yeah, I'm very grateful that I found this talent.
Right.
Not something I ever dreamed of.
I mean, you say you never saw this coming, but did you ever really feel like you had a passion for entertaining at any point?
Well, I'm definitely, one of those high energy guys. I've never been the type to be able to sit at a desk from 9 to 5. I have that kind of squirrel, that's kind of how I am. I'm very, everything has to be kind of in the moment for me. And before I got into balloons, I was a waiter, so I was used to customer service. I was used to talking to people. And when I got into balloons, it was pretty seamless because, now I'm around kids and my job is to have fun while I'm working. I'm purposely entertaining and silly because I'm surrounded by kids, and you know how kids are. Kids are, very, very energetic, and you got to kind of keep up with their energy, because if you don't, even if you're tired, if you're around kids, it lifts you up. There's no getting around it.
So, I mean, is this something that just anybody can do?
In my honest opinion, I feel like anyone can at least try to do it, because when I do speeches for schools, I've done speeches for high schools and elementary schools where, I'm explaining my story that I wasn't artistic with a pencil or a pen. My real story is I got a C in art in college, a C in art in college. I gave that class everything I had, but I couldn't draw, so the professor gave me a C. But I found my medium in balloons. So I really believe anybody can try. I have a DVD available. It's called Balloons 101. It teaches the very basics. And even if you don't want to buy my DVD, you can go on YouTube and just learn a dog. You got to try. I really think anybody can at least attempt to learn to make a dog. I mean, a dog, it's just a couple of twists. It takes a little repetition, and it takes a little bit of fearlessness, because everyone that I teach balloons, oh, it's going to pop, I'm scared. And, you got to just relax. It's okay. If it pops, it pops. Just grab another balloon and try again if it pops. That's really it. It's just repetition. And I used to only knew how to make other people's designs, and now I'm at a level where you can Google an image and I can probably make it. I could freestyle. I could just wing it. Some kid asked me for a raccoon the other day. I've never made a raccoon before, and I looked up some pictures and I just kind of went with it, and hey, it came out okay. I was pretty happy with it.
And I mean, so you mentioned you speak in schools. What sort of educational programs do you run along with your entertaining?
Well, people do ask me to give speeches, but I also have a show called How to Catch a Mouse, Simple Machines at Work. It is a educational science show. It's curriculum based. It is meant to teach kids about levers, wheels, pulleys, inclined planes, and screws, which is really fun because it uses a Rube Goldberg machine at the end. So we use all these machines to build one big machine. And using balloons as the medium, it keeps the kids engaged. And it's really fun. It's one of my favorite things to do is to perform the Mousetrap show. I've done it for schools, libraries, and camps. And yeah, I mean, it's educational. Educational with balloons, fun. What more could I say?
That sounds pretty fantastic. And you mentioned before some of the events you can do. Which would you say is just your favorite, the one you have the most fun doing?
Well, my bread and butter and what I really hang my hat on is the birthday parties, the ones that are at venues or backyard. Those are great, and they're really fun. Of course, I've done big events like festivals and fairs where it's 4 hours nonstop, just keep the people coming. And no matter what event I do, I'm having fun. I'm doing what I want to do as far as what I think would be funny or entertaining. I don't really have jokes. I kind of just say whatever comes to my mind. So some jokes land, some jokes don't, but I'm always having fun, and my energy is always there. I give every gig 100%. It's just the adrenaline, I'm performing. I'm center stage, and I used to be nervous standing in front of a stage, and I've, embraced it now, and that all just comes with just years of practice and years of just getting used to it, just getting the hang of it, I guess.
Right. I mean, I saw before we went on air, you made some of these creations on the table in a matter of minutes, and then your pamphlet here, you've got full-size cars. How long do some of these take to do?
Well, the car, now that picture of that car, I get that question all the time. How long did this car take to make? Now, that was a team project. I did that with 12 other really talented artists at the conference. And it took about 12 hours with 12 artists. We were a team. We planned it out. We had a game plan. We delegated, okay, you're going to do the body, you're going to do the tire, I'm going to make the steering wheel, and it all came together for this other project. This other mega project I did is called Balloon Manor. Balloon Manor was a 40,000 balloon project. It took 5 days and 60 artists, and really talented artists, to make Balloon Manor. And when you look at the pictures, we created this undersea adventure world with a giant octopus and a giant ship and all these sea creatures, and man, that was so much fun. I did that just for the experience of doing it. It wasn't a job, I did it because it was like something I just wanted to say I did it, I was part of it. And the team aspect of it was so cool because without all 60 artists working on it, it would have never happened. And it's definitely one of the most proudest things I've done in my career.
And where did you house that? Was that in a warehouse or in a big convention space?
That was actually at the Sibley Building in Rochester, New York, which was a former mall, now a community college, where it was like 4 stories.
Okay.
So when you look at the pictures of Balloon Manor, you'll see what I mean. It was something. And the other stuff, they were at hotels and stuff, like the car. The motorcycle, for me, that took 3 hours. The dress, I think it took me 6 hours. And actually, the first time I made the dress, it popped. And the dimensions were off because you have to learn how to taper. It's all weaving. It's very monotonous. You're just weaving and tapering, and that all comes with precision. Outside of that, my other favorite balloon would be the Halloween costume, where I dressed up as a knight. I actually came in second place at the Halloween costume contest. Second place, yeah. Ask me who won.
Your own costume?
Ask me who won.
Who won?
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Really?
Yeah, this guy made Pee-wee's Playhouse, and I said, dude, it's going to be you and me at the end. And sure enough, it came down to me and him. He got free gas for a year. I got a free iPad, and I got a great picture. I mean, it was really fun. And again, that was one design I was scared to make. I have a friend who made a balloon Buzz Lightyear costume, and I was always just like, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe you did that. And 3 or 4 years ago, I would always say, there's no way I can make that. There's no way I can make that. And finally, I mustered up the confidence, and I even called him and said, hey, buddy, can you, give me some tips? He just gave me maybe 20 minutes of advice on the phone, and sure enough, I went for it, and end results came out pretty good.
So if someone wanted to contact you to set you up for an event, how should they go about doing that?
Everything is My Balloon Guy. You know, how could you forget that, right? My Balloon Guy. So if you just Google My Balloon Guy, you'll find me. Instagram, Facebook, and of course the website. Most people, they fill out the booking form on my website. Of course, I have a Facebook page and an Instagram. Outside of that, I have 2 restaurants that you can come visit me. Every Friday, I'm at Cherry Tree Frozen Yogurt in Mamaroneck from 3 to 5. And then on Tuesdays, I'm at Rattlesnake Jack's restaurant in Harrison on Halstead Avenue, and I'm there from 5 p.m. to 8. And at the moment, those are the 2 restaurants I visit every single week, that if you guys wanted to just come by and say hi and get a balloon and eat some food and have some frozen yogurt, that's where you can meet me.
All right, well, that's all the time we have. Scotty, thank you very much. If you would like to book Scotty, just as he said, you can visit www.balloonguy.com. www.myballoonguy.com. Stay tuned for more community stories and the answer to our trivia question.
Thank you for having me.
Larchmont resident Amy Rosen turned her passion for cooking into a successful business. Reporter Nick Juka has the story.
Today we're going to talk to local chef Amy Rosen. You might recognize her from the cover of Larchmont Living, The Nate Berkus Show, or just for her work around the community. We're here to try some of her delicious food and learn about her culinary expertise. Amy is no stranger to the art of cooking. She has been peeking over kitchen counters ever since she could walk. And with role models like hers, it's no wonder she became a chef.
We would always be talking about food, cooking food, and I feel like it's like inbred, it's like in part of me. You know, growing up, my mother had like 14 different kinds of olive oils and, you know, so many different kinds of spices and herbs and whatnot, and, you know, I've just continued that fashion.
For some of us, eating may be a chore, but for Amy, it's something a lot more important than just fueling our body. She let us in on the role food plays in her life and the importance of being creative and always reinventing yourself in the kitchen.
I think you have to be creative when you cook, and not every time you make a recipe it comes out exactly the same, and I think that makes it more interesting for everyone. Making fresh food with good ingredients, it just gives me such joy. It's just a part of my world to share what I know how to do and, you know, give it to, you know, anyone who's in my world.
And Amy has sure done that. One of her most popular classes is Passover with a Modern Twist, and it's obvious from her many dishes, such as the pasta nest and cucumber towers, that she likes to mix the old with the new. And needless to say, the food I tried was a perfect medley of traditional and modern. When catering, Amy likes to create a menu specifically tailored for each event, making the experience especially unique and personal.
Some people are gluten-free, so I obviously take out all the gluten. Some people are strictly vegetarian, so I make it vegetarian or vegan, depending on you know, what your family likes, what the next person's family likes. So I just make it, and then I try to make it, you know, super fantastic, yummy on top of it.
I asked Amy if there were any secrets to making delicious food, and once again, her mother's wisdom shined through.
If you use good ingredients, your food will always come out terrific. That was a quote from my mother, so.
I had a fabulous time today and learned how to make some delicious appetizers. Next time, I'll be back for the entrees. I'm Nick Juka for The Local Live. This little meatball is making a big splash across the Larchmont Mamaroneck community. Reporter Gabe Tugenstein went to see what all the hype is about at Pho Patina.
Juicy meatballs, modern rustic ambiance, and a full arsenal of beers, wines, and cocktails, we must be Pho Patina in Larchmont. Opening just over 2 years ago, Pho Patina translates to Little Meatball. But the delicious meatballs aren't the only thing that you can get here, not at all. We asked co-owner Kyle and Sarah what else on the menu people should check out.
There's definitely the eggplant chips. You know, we get a lot of people who come, you know, right away, that's what they want, the eggplant chips. But I think what really gets people to come back more frequently are the specials. So we'll run some things that are a little bit different than the pasta, pizza, meatballs kind of thing.
The Pho Patina here in Larchmont came as a result of a successful first 3 years in Eastchester.
Why did you decide on Larchmont as a second location?
You know, it took us about a year to find the location. In Eastchester, we are in a neighborhood, so like the neighborhood restaurant spot. But we want to be in a bigger town. We want to have a little bit more of a street presence. So after looking for about a year, we just fell in love with the space and the town and the location. And yeah, it's been about just over 2 years and we love it.
Originally, there were only reservations for larger parties, but that has since changed to make for an easier experience.
So we actually now have Resi, which is a great app that you can make reservations right from your phone, from your smartphone, or via our website for parties of any size.
And after a few dinners at Pho Patina, don't be surprised if you become friends with a few of your waiters and waitresses.
We try to provide a comfortable experience, a neighborhood spot where we remember your name, we remember that your kid last week hit a home run in the Little League game. We just want to be known as a neighborhood spot, the friendly place that people come and we recognize you and we know what makes you feel good when you come in here.
Pho Patina may mean little meatball, but it's safe to say this restaurant's a pretty big deal. This is Gabe Dukenstein for the Local Live. Deliciously signing off.
Skip is a very excitable and jumpy dog. He and some fellow pet rescue residents are best buds. Because of his mouthy behavior, we do recommend no children for the moment and someone who's willing to follow through on his training. He especially loves long walks or hikes and needs another dog as a companion. The best person for Skip would be a patient individual who could teach him that humans are all good and caring. For more information and to browse other adorable pets, go to www.ny-petrescue.org.
And remember, if you'd like to keep us on air, support our program by checking out our website at www.lmctv.org and click on the donate button on the upper right corner. We really appreciate any contribution.
And we're always welcoming new interns and volunteers, so send your emails to thelocallive@lmctv.org and join us. We'd love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rebecca Paganini.
And I'm Nick Juka. See you next week for another episode of The Local Live.
Go. Slow. Whoa.
Can the Local Live give my pet ostrich the power of human speech?
What? No. No, of course not.